Good day everyone, we are from Group 11 and we are here to tackle these topics: job and operation sheet, instruction sheet, and information sheets. First, I will introduce who are the members and also the leader. Our leader is Remina May Pasilbas, members Catherine Dalsarna and Lindy Baguio. Before we discuss our topic, let us first tackle the learning objectives. So we will be able to define what is job sheet, operation sheet, instruction sheet, and information sheet. Also, we will be able to differentiate job sheet, operation sheet, instruction sheet, and information sheet. Third, formulate an information sheet and instruction sheet. And last, we will be able to recognize how operation sheet are useful in practicing the operation of equipment or machine. And now, I am Catherine Dalsarna and I am going to report the instruction sheets. In this lesson, we shall be discussing the main pages of the competency-based learning modules called the instruction sheets. In our efforts to standardize the format of the instruction sheets, we will discuss the content and format in this lesson. Guidelines and tips in writing the instruction sheets will help you improve your writing skills. So, instruction sheets have 4 types. So, since instruction sheet is designed to guide the trainee on the different things to be done to learn a unit competency, different instruction sheets will be required for different learning activities. First, we have information sheet. Second, the task sheet. Third, the operation sheet. Fourth, job sheet. Guidelines in developing instruction sheet. So, we have use language that is straightforward and is easily understood by the trainees for whom the material is intended. Define new terms and do not use words or phrases that are unusual or ambiguous. Other guidelines is give specific directions that are clear and concise. Carefully think through the sequence of directions. Limit each instruction sheet to 1 to 10 sheets of paper if possible, but avoid the overcrowding the page. Separate the various items, points or paragraphs by spacing, by numbers, letters, and or bullets. And develop a uniform format for all instruction sheets so trainees can easily find the desired information. Space the various divisions of the sheet, such as the title, the purpose, illustrations, and text to produce an easily to read and attractive documents. Using underlining to emphasize or to distinguish between headings, subheadings, and content. Also, be consistent in the use of terminology to avoid confusion. Last, include only the relevant information. Avoid filling the sheet with irrelevant or unnecessary information, no matter how fascinating it may seem.
Good day everyone, I'm Rena May Pasilbas from Bitild IE and I'm from Group 11 and my topic will be the information sheet. Information sheet is not a copy or duplicate of an article from magazine, newspaper, or book. An information sheet is developed when there are no resources available to explain the required information or to summarize an article that illustrate new trends and technology and present hard-to-find data. An information sheet is primarily designed to deliver pertinent information needed in the attainment of a learning outcome. A good information sheet has the following characteristics or conforms to the following criteria. Number 1, free from violation of copyright law. Number 2, contains information essential to the attainment of the learning outcomes. Number 3, has a title that gives some idea of the coverage of the sheet. Number 4, approach in terms of content and presentation is appropriate to the interest and reading level of the learner. Number 5, the layout, text, and drawings are attractive in appearance and legible. We have number 6, has uncommon terms mark for further defining. Number 7, the last, has acknowledgement per copied part of the sheet. Tips in writing information sheets. So we have number 1, make sure that the reading level matches that of your trainees. Number 2, use short paragraphs. Number 3, use short, concise sentences. Number 4, position illustrations to the side or just below the sentences, referring to the illustrations. Number 5, keep information sheet brief. So we can see here the parts of the information sheet. So at the top, we can see the learning objectives that are being presented. We have 2 learning objectives. Then the next is the introduction or overview. So in here, the introduction or overview of the topic. Then the next is the body or the text. So in this part, the content or context of the learning topic will be presented here. So number 1, the learning objectives. Statements about what a trainee will gain from a course or activity. So these are specific statements about exactly what a trainee should know, be able to do, or value as a result of accomplishing a learning goal. Since the information sheet is more on the acquisition of knowledge related to the main task or skill to be mastered, learning objectives for the information sheets should be kept on a knowledge level. So the next is the guidelines for preparing learning objectives. So the following guidelines are provided to assist in the development of appropriate learning objectives for a proposed educational experience. So step 1, describe the information, skills, behaviors, or perspectives trainees in the session will acquire through attendance and participation. So we have step 2, clearly identify the outcomes or actions trainees can expect to demonstrate as a result of the educational experiences. See the action words below. We have step 3, write the learning objectives that relate to these outcomes and that reflect the content of the session. Objectives describe the behavior of the trainee, and it should be stated clearly, define or describe an action, and it should be measurable in terms of time, space, amount, and or frequency. Example of measurable action words. So we have the word explain, compare, evaluate, differentiate, identify, analyze, describe, formulate, name, define, discuss, assess, and list. So we should take note. We should avoid following action words like know, understand, learn, because and other verbs that are too broad. In making our learning objectives, it should be SMART. Performance objectives should be SMART, that is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bounded. We have S for specific. Performance objectives must be very clear and detailed enough so as to leave no reason for ambiguity or misinterpretation. M for measurable. Always use a verifiable verb and describe an action that can be seen and measured. We have A for achievable. Performance objectives should be always attainable. Then we have R for relevant. Performance objectives should be relevant to the performer. They should relate to the objectives that matter to that person. And we have the last, the T, the time-bounded. Performance objectives are more effective if they are to be achieved within a defined time frame. We go on to number 2, the introduction or overview. So the paragraph after the objective should be the overview or recall and rejoinder statements. So this provides the key concepts and allows you to gain the interest of the learner from the beginning. Statements that contain the following should be included. So, number 1, how the topic or information will contribute to the attainment of the main skill to be mastered. So, we have number 2, the connection between the previous content to the current content and the next contents. Number 3, the body or text. The body of the CBLN should be the development of the lesson or the content. It is not purely a statement of facts, but it should be developing the content in a way that will help trainees memorize facts, definition and functions, analyze associations and connections to the other concepts, and in some situations, providing an opportunity for trainees to explore their underpinning values and beliefs. The following are the prescribed formats of information sheet code. So the information sheet code contains the core competency number, the learning outcome number, and information sheet number. So we have the example here, the word information sheet 2.3 to 1. So the 2.3 is the core competency number and the 1 is the learning outcome number or content number. In information sheet title, this following instruction should be followed. The font is the Bookman Old Style, font size is 14, alignment is center, case is title case, line space is single. In body, the font will be Bookman Old Style, font size is 12, alignment is justified, case is sentence case, line space is single, and space between paragraph is 6 point after. Number 4, we have self-checks. Self-checks are sets of questions that would verify the acquisition of knowledge stated in the learning objectives. There is no prescribed number of items nor type of test for self-checks. Number of items depends on the content of the information sheet. We have number 5, answer case. Answer case are essential feedback tools. Answer case should always follow a self-check so that a trainee can check his own answers immediately. This allows for immediate feedback.
As a continuation, here are the other instruction sheets. Aside from the instructional sheets considered in the previous discussions, the following instructional sheets may be used to further practice the learning contents or skills. These instructional sheets, although not required, may be used to enhance the attainment of required competencies or to allow trainees to acquire knowledge, skills, and attitudes beyond the required competencies. So we have heard 4 other instruction materials. First, we have assignment sheet. Second, experiment sheet. Third, project planning sheet. 4, worksheet. So assignment sheet is in this instruction sheet guides the trainee with respect to what additional activity needs to be performed in order to master what has been learned in the information, operation, or job sheet. The assignment may include problems to be solved, questions to be answered, observations to be made, readings to be done, or duties to be performed. This may include jobs that cannot be completed within the training duration, but when done, greatly improve the skills of the trainees. Second, we have this experiment sheet. This is used to aid the trainee in performing test or trial problems to demonstrate scientific principles. The third one is the project planning sheet. This instruction sheet is prepared by the trainee himself before the project is built or put into operation. It contains the purpose, background, and the specification of the project, and sometimes short-term and long-term plans. The last instruction sheet is the worksheets. This is a printed form that is filled out by the trainee in the process of gathering data or solving problems.
Hello everyone, I am Lindy Bagya from DCL 3IA and I'm going to tackle about the operation and job sheet. In this lesson, you will realize how operation sheets are useful in practicing the operation of equipment or machines. So, task sheet and operation sheets are instructional sheets that are used in teaching and practicing basic skills for the mastery of a job. It includes information on the machine to be used, the speed of cut, depth of cut, and etc. when the process involves metal cutting. So, operation sheets. An operation sheet is a set of procedures on the use and maintenance of an equipment or a machine. So from the word itself, operation or operate, it will only talk about the procedures on how to use and maintain an equipment or a machine. The procedures of an operation sheet will greatly depend on the manufacturer's manual since operation may vary from brand to brand. Of course, every brand has different structures, so we should always look for the manufacturer's manual to know the procedures and how to use an equipment. The performance objective of an operation sheet should then include the manufacturer's manual as the basis of the criterion or standard. This is used for teaching a single basic task, operation, or process. It usually includes the operation of tools, machine, or equipment in doing a task or job which involve following correct procedures and sequence. Example for that is the job is creating different kind of wire joints. The operation is the procedure in joining wires. Take note that you should always develop an operation sheet for the brand of machines or the equipment existing in your workshop. Notes or information about the basic operation of other brands may, however, be discussed as an offshoot of your operation sheet so that your trainee will be able to adjust when using other brands of the machine or equipment. Guidelines in operation sheet development. So first one is describe or name the operation clearly. Second, use the correct and accepted occupational and technical terminology. So use those term or vocabulary that has specialized meaning restricted only to a specific field. Third, list in proper order all the steps involved in performing the operation. So it should be complete and proper order to do the performance smoothly. So fourth, state the instruction in clear and concise language. Fifth, use illustrations, diagrams, or drawings to clarify the steps so that you can look for it and apply what's on the illustrations. Sixth, indicate any critical points that are essential to the success of the operation. And lastly, state the accepted criteria for evaluating the quality of the operation. Note that the format of operation sheet follows the format of a task sheet. The performance criteria checklist should include criteria on strict observance of the step-by-step procedure which are critical in operating the equipment. So example for that, did you read the manufacturer's manual of the equipment before unpacking the parts? Or did you unplug the machine before disassembling the parts? So that is all for the operation sheet. Let's proceed now to the job sheet. So in the previous discussion, we learned how to develop task sheets and operation sheets. These instructional sheets are essential in the mastery of the skills of your competency. This information sheet guides you on how to integrate tasks and operations in a job sheet. Job sheet integrates tasks and operations. So it combines the task and operations. When integrating previously learned tasks and operations, you do not need to rewrite the specific steps of an operation or task. So there is no more writing of steps, and all you need to do is to perform. Your trainee is expected to learn tasks and operations first before you performing the job sheet. So we have to learn the task and operation first before we do a job for us to do the performance smoothly and safely. So providing job sheets will help your trainee enhance, retain, and practice their knowledge, skills, and attitudes. Job sheet allows you to determine how much work is coming up so you can increase staff levels if necessary. So in terms of format, the format of a task sheet, operation sheet, and the job sheets are similar. So that is all from my topic, and I hope you have learned from it. Thank you.